We keep hearing how we need to do this and avoid that. Don't eat that dessert. Don't you remember you have diabetes? And sometimes I want to jump up and just scream, enough! We want to be healthy, but we also want to have fun and enjoy life. This denying ourselves everything business is what derails many people. I'm a dedicated chocoholic. I would eat chocolate-covered chocolate with chocolate frosting for dessert at every meal if I could. I know I can't do that, but I'm not willing to give up treats completely.
We do our best to manage our blood sugar, but it's hard to always deny ourselves the food treats we love. We deserve something nice too sometimes. We need a little bit of luxury to make our diabetes self-care a little more pleasant. Luckily, it doesn't need to derail our diet or break our budget. We just need to be smart about it. At Simply Diabetes, we can help you manage your diabetes cheaper and easier.
We are not medical professionals. We are people with diabetes, just like you.
Welcome.
We know that with diabetes, we must pay attention to carb we consume and move more than we perhaps otherwise would. That's a lot to track, even though we don't count carbs with precision.
Sometimes we need a break from this. At the same time, we're working hard to keep our blood sugar in check and don't want to jeopardize that. On top of this, we have a budget to adhere to and don't want to blow it on something that doesn't benefit us. So what do we do?
We indulge in little luxuries. A little reward here and there will lift our spirits. And if we're smart, it will make our lives more pleasant without paying a hefty price. We just have to be smart about how we choose our little luxuries.
It's all about the choices we make. For example, we could eat a large cookie, but that's a lot of carbs both from sugar and flour, some unhealthy fats, and very little else. Or we can choose a small handful of chocolate-covered almonds or walnuts instead. If we do that, we save some carbs because nuts aren't as carby as cookies. If we choose dark chocolate, it has other great nutrients such as antioxidants and flavonoids that are good for our hearts and brains.
And dark chocolate has fewer carbs than milk chocolate. We can make our own chocolate-covered nuts or fruit. This way, we know exactly what's in it. And it's quick and easy. But that's another video.
We both enjoy coffee.
I used to joke that Ken would single-handedly support a Starbucks location.
I'd have a grande mocha nearly every day. I enjoyed it, but it didn't help my wallet, and certainly not with my diabetes or my waistline.
These days, we don't go out for coffee very often, but that doesn't mean we don't enjoy a treat. We figured out a way that works better for us. We can save both carbs and money. I checked today, and a grande cafe latte at Starbucks near us costs $3.65. If Ken were to drink one every day, it would make quite a hole in our budget. At $3.65 times 365 days, it's $1,332 and a change. That's just for one person.
Most of us don't think about how expensive habitual spending is. $3.65 per coffee is not a big deal once in a while. It's not a budget breaker. But $1,300 plus buys a vacation or some new furniture. Part of our tightwad philosophy is to think macro. I never used to think that until I met Majana. Long term, you get to decide, do you want the daily latte or would you rather save for something else? Perhaps a trip somewhere or a new sofa.
In addition to slimming our wallets, a latte would also give us 19 grams of simple carbs per serving. That's a lot. I have no idea how they manage to squeeze so many carbs into one latte. 1 cup of milk is only 12 grams, so they must put a lot of milk in there.
We could order a smaller latte, but even then, that's still a lot of money and a lot of carbs and far less satisfying.
We can do better. We can make a very satisfying 16-ounce latte with less milk. This mug fits 16 ounces. Let's measure just to be sure. To make our latte, we need to brew fresh coffee. Ken is a great barista, so he is the one that usually does it. Now that the coffee is almost done, we need milk. As we have seen, a latte can be pretty carby. That's because in a typical latte there is a lot more milk than coffee. But we are not making an ordinary latte. We can do a lot better carb-wise. Heavy cream is gentler for carbs, with only 6 grams per cup. And we're not planning to use an entire cup. Because it tastes richer, we can use less of it. Using just heavy cream is too much, so I make my own half and half. I pour some cream and some milk into the jar. I never measure, but it comes out to about a third of a cup. So there you go, and other part. Now close the lid and shake. You can buy a milk frother if you prefer. I don't want one. Why would I spend money, even if only a small amount, for a gadget that only does one thing? Also, my kitchen isn't that big, and having the extra gadget will be in the way. But the most important reason is that I have a little exercise snack by frothing my milk by hand. All I do is shake the jar vigorously while walking around my kitchen island. It's not a lot of movement, but I try to add movement wherever I can. It all counts, adding to my overall steps for the day. It takes me about 30 seconds or about 50 steps to froth my half and half. I always try to find a way to add a little exercise to my day. Every little bit helps. Don't shake too long, or you might end up with butter. If that happens, just pull the lump out of the jar and use as you normally would. The liquid is buttermilk. You can drink it or use it in cooking, or give it to your dog or cat. It happened to me only once over several years, so no biggie. Now I pour my froth half and half into my mug, fill it with coffee, and there it is. You can also add some flavor to it. Vanilla makes it taste sweet. Not sure why, but I'll take it. Or add a little cocoa powder for a mocha treat.
I don't want the froth, so I just use the homemade half and half in my coffee. Half of heavy cream and half regular milk.
Let's do the math. We've already measured, and so we know that our mug is 16 ounces. I use about a third of 16, so that's about 5 to 6 ounces of the milk mixture. Let's say it's 6 to make the math easier. Of this, 3 ounces is milk and 3 ounces is heavy cream. 3 ounces of milk has 4 grams of carbs, and 3 ounces of cream has 2. So my entire milk for the latte has 6 grams of carbs instead of the 19 grams in the commercial latte. That's quite a saving. And it tastes really good.
So, what do you think? If you have a recipe of your own for coffee or other little luxury, why don't you share it with us?
We have more ideas for little luxuries in our book, available on Amazon. The link is in the comments under this video.
If you found this video helpful or fun, give us a like. Subscribe to our Simply Diabetes channel and click the bell icon so you get notified when the next video is available. And don't forget to tell your friends. See you next time.